Good day! Today, in understanding culture, society, and politics, we will talk about the culture and society as anthropological and sociological concepts. To start with, let's talk about the connection of culture and society. What do you think is the connection of culture and society? Very nice answer. Culture and society are two complex ideas that are highly relevant in this subject that we are taking. These are two words of the subject title, right? These terms influence each other and continuously change together. Without society, there would be no culture. And of course, without culture, there would be no formation of societies. Both culture and society contribute to who we are at the moment. These are also the key terms that make the phenomenon and other circumstances logical and worth explaining. These concepts are multifaceted and are highly important in the entire subject matter. Now, let us see how well do you know about the topic. Let's answer the pretest in your module. Select the letter of the best answer. Write the answers in your notebook. Number 1. It is the study of people throughout the world, their evolutionary history, how they behave, adapt to different environments, communicate, and socialize with one another. A. Anthropology, B. Culture, C. Society, or D. Sociology. Number 2. The study of human institutions and their relationship. A. Anthropology, B. Culture, C. Society, or D. Sociology. Number 3. Society is a community or group of individuals joined together because of sustained bond and interaction. This statement falls under what perspective? A. Anthropology, B. Sociology, C. Both A and B, or D. None of this. Number 4. A culture is a way of life of a group of individuals. Its subject includes symbols, language, values, and norms. What perspective this statement falls? A. Anthropology, B. Social science, C. Sociology, or D. All of the above. Number 5. Edward B. Taylor defined blank as that complex whole which includes knowledge, art, belief, law, morals, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by a man as a member of blank. A. Culture and group. B. Culture, nation. C. Culture, society. D. Society, culture. Number 6. It refers to the perception of accepted reality. A. Belief, B. Knowledge, C. Reality, D. Social norm. Number 7. These are established expectations of society as to how a person is supposed to act depending on the requirements of the time, place, or situation. A. Belief, B. Knowledge, C. Reality, D. Social norm. Number 8. This is the set of ethical standards and moral obligations as dictates of reason that distinguishes human acts as right or wrong or good from bad. A. Folkways, B. Mores, C. Technology, or D. Values. Number 9. This refers to practical application of knowledge, converting raw materials to finished products. A. Folkways, B. Mores, C. Technology, or D. Values. Number 10. This approach finds to relate structures, social functions, or the consequences of any social pattern for the mobility of society as a whole. A. Cultural variation, B. Social conflict, C. Structural functional, D. Symbolic interaction. Number 11. This refers to the recognized and intended consequences of any social pattern. A. Manifest, B. Latent, C. Social dysfunction, D. None of the above. Number 12. It refers to any social pattern that may disrupt the operations of society. A. Manifest, B. Latent, C. Social dysfunction, D. None of the above. Thirteen. The idea that one's own culture is above or superior to all other cultures. A. Cultural relativism, B. Ethnocentrism, C. Cultural function, D. Cultural variation. Number 14. It refers to the differences in social behaviors that different cultures exhibit around the world. A. Cultural relativism, B. Ethnocentrism, C. Relativism, D. Cultural variation. Number 15. This refers to the patterns of repetitive behavior that are habitual and conventional part of living. A. Folkways, B. Mores, C. Technology, or D. Values. Great job! So now let's talk more about our subject. It's all about culture, it's all about society, and of course, politics. Our subject is about culture. Our subject is about society. And our subject is also about politics. It presents the connection of the key terms, namely culture, society, and politics. So, in the previous module, or in your previous module and video lessons, the nature of social sciences and the way these topics can be related to the individuals and learners. All the aforementioned terms, the society, and individuals are all connected and interdependent. This gives significance and meaning to each other. So, for your first task, you have to ask your parents, grandparents if possible, about the popular songs dances, and courtship during their teenage years. So you have to find out how different they are from yours and how much they change. Write your answers in your notebook. I bet you are seeing the difference now. That is nice. So, culture shows an adjustment and adaptation to the various conditions of life, including the physical, social, and supernatural environment. It is a complex whole which includes knowledge, beliefs, arts, morals, laws, customs, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of a society. It is a foundation of man's endless transaction and continuing interaction with his environment. That is culture. So, let's define the types of culture. What are the different types of culture? We have the material types. Material types are like technological tools, architectural structures, fashion, accessories, and food. Okay? So those are all tangible. While the non-material ones like ideas, language, and symbols, religion, behavior, gesture, and habits. So those are all intangible. Now, let's talk about the functions of culture according to Mark Banaa. The first thing he says that culture allows man to adjust and adapt as to be integrated with his environment through his creativity and resourcefulness to survive. Another one, culture maintains its patterns of etiquette, protocols, manners, right conduct, and norms considered as acceptable social behavior as established by the laws, mores, as well as folkways. He also said that culture sends its meaning through verbal and non-verbal communication, written and non-written language, symbolism, and various forms of expressions. Another thing, culture creates man-made things such as clothing, tools, instruments, machines, equipment, structures, and other things that made possible by technological know-how. And the last one, he said that culture paves way to overall human satisfaction as ways to make life more enjoyable, more comfortable, easier, and more rewarding, such as recreational activities, leisure, entertainment, and arts are made. We also have to learn the different elements of culture. What are the different elements of culture? The first one is the knowledge. What is the scope of knowledge? Knowledge refers to any information received and perceived to be true. Okay? While beliefs means it is the perception of accepted reality. Beliefs, it is the perception of accepted reality. While the reality refers to the existence of things, whether material or non material. Okay? Reality refers to the existence of things, whether material or non-material. While the social norms, these are the established expectations of society as to how a person is supposed to act depending on the requirements of the time, place, or situation. Social norms are established expectations of society. Okay? Remember those things. Now, let's talk about the different forms of social norms. What is social norms again? Can you repeat it? Very good. These are the established expectations of society. We have different forms of social norms. The first one is the folkways. What is folkways? Folkways is the patterns of repetitive behavior that are habitual or you're doing it constantly and conventional part of living. When we say conventional, that means it is in accordance with what is generally done or believed. Okay, so the next one is we have mores. The mores are the set of ethical standards and moral obligations as dictates of reason that distinguishes human acts as right or wrong or good from bad. We also have our values. So anything held to be relatively worthy, important, desirable, or valuable. That is values. And of course, technology. Who doesn't know technology? So these are the practical application of knowledge, converting raw materials to finished products. Okay, these are the application of knowledge, converting raw materials to finished products. That is technology. Let's talk now what is society. For you, in your own understanding, what is society? Very nice answer. So, the society refers to the continuous interaction among individuals formed the society. A product of human social processes intended to meet basic needs for survival is considered society. Again, the products of human social processes intended to meet our basic needs for survival is considered as society. Okay? And then we also have ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. Ethnocentrism and cultural relativism are interconnected. So we have cultural variation, ethnocentrism, and cultural relativism. Let's talk about these three. What is cultural variation? Cultural variation refers to the differences in social behaviors that different cultures exhibit around the world. Okay, so meaning this variation will make the different cultures unique. That's what makes one culture unique. While ethnocentrism, it is the idea that one's own culture is above or superior to all other cultures. It's like judging another culture solely by the values and standards of one's own culture. In ethnocentrism, you believe that your culture is superior. while in cultural relativism, it is the attempt to recognize that each culture is naturally different from others. The principle that an individual person's beliefs and activities should be understood by others in terms of individuals' own culture. So meaning in cultural relativism there is diversity. Okay? Do you understand? Very good. Now, let's dig more about our culture and about our society. So, let's talk about the sociological approaches to the study of society. We have the social conflict approach. What is social conflict approach? It believes that the society is an arena of inequality that generates conflict and change. Okay? Can you imagine? The society is an arena of inequality that generates conflict and change. So, individuals and groups within the society tends to settle their differences through conflict rather than coming up on a consensus to promote change. Okay? So we also have the symbolic interaction approach. What is symbolic interaction approach? It says that the society as a product of the everyday interaction of individuals using symbols such as language and actions. So the society is the everyday interaction of individuals or us using symbols, language, and actions. Okay? What is the concept of society as an objective reality? So, society came from the Latin word societas, meaning a comrade, a friend, or an ally, used to describe a bond or interaction between parties that are friendly or at least civil. So that is the meaning of society and where it came from. So human beings are zoon politikon or political animals. When we say zoon politikon, it means political animals. So according to Aristotle, that is, humans are creatures whose nature is for them to live in a society or group. The term society is used to describe a level of organization of groups that is relatively self-contained. Okay? The term society is used to describe a level of organization of groups that is relatively self-contained. That is according to John Homewood. So we also have the rationale of studying anthropology, political science, and sociology. What is anthropology again? We talked about anthropology in module 1. What is anthropology? Very good. So anthropology is the branch of knowledge which deals with the scientific study of man, his works, his body, his behavior and values in time and space. Very good. While political science is a systematic study of a state and its government, with the relationship of men in the community, with relations of men and groups to the state itself, and with the relations of a state with other sovereign states abroad. So that is political science. Okay? And then we also have sociology. What is sociology? It is the scientific pattern, shared human behavior. It analyzes human interaction, essential in understanding what? Man's cultural makeup. Okay? That is sociology. As a student, in what way you can show respect to people with other culture? In what way do you think you can show respect to people with other culture? Very good. That's a very nice answer. The culture and society are interdependent and intertwined. Without the other one, the other will not exist. Culture binds the society together. So without society, culture will not exist. People have varied culture, and this calls for respect and understanding to avoid discrimination and prejudice. Upon grasping the concepts in this lesson, you, as learners, will get to understand why people are different. Okay? This will lead to a better way of seeing things. So let's answer the guided activity 1. You have to complete the circle web based on the lecture given a while ago. So write the related terms about culture and society inside the circles. So choose from the given terms below here. These are the given terms, okay? Write your answers in your notebook, of course. I'll give you at least 5 minutes to answer this activity. Okay, you did a great job. So let's go to your guided assessment 1. Draw a smiley if the statement is correct and a sad face if it is wrong. Write your answers in your notebook. Number one, culture, just like every person which comprise society, is susceptible to change or even death. Culture, just like every person which comprise society, is susceptible to change or even death. Number two, the society is not constant. Its members change from time to time. The society is not constant. Its members change from time to time. As a result, culture change along. As a result, culture change along. Number three, society and culture are interdependent from each other. One can exist without the other. Number three, society and culture are independent from each other. One can exist without the other. Number four, people evolve over time as a result of their exposure to renew or change laws, values, and standards of society. Number four, people evolve over time as a result of their exposure to renew or change laws, values, and standards of society. Number five, it can be said that culture is a result of society, and these two are interdependent on each other. It can be said that culture is a result of society, and these two are interdependent on each other. You are doing a great job. For your guided activity 2, you have to create a table in your notebook and write all the cultural traditions that are related to the terms you wrote on the semantic map that your family or community practice, which you consider as a part of your identity. List them down on the table. There is a one example here of Morse. So the cultural practice is we should always kiss the hands of our elders when we see them. Okay? The term is Morse, and the cultural practice is we should always kiss the hands of our elders when we see them. Okay? So we have four here: the folkways, the Morse, the values, and the technology. So these are examples of what? Very good. These are social norms. The concept of social norms. We also have the guided assessment to here. Okay, so based on the discussion, fill out the chart with terms related to society. You have to fill out the chart with terms related to society. Very good. And for the independent activity 1, based on the responses of your parents, complete the chart to present the difference of the youth of the past from the youth of the present. Okay? You have to complete the chart to present the difference of the youth of the past from the youth of the present. Write your responses in your notebook. Great job. So, for your independent activity 2, based on the type of cultures, find or take 5 pictures and paste them in your notebook that will show material and non-material culture. Base your photos on your ethnicity. What are the different examples of ethnicity? We have Tagalog, Kapampangan. If you are a Bisaya, you have to base your photos on your ethnicity. Ilocano or Pangasinense, Waray, Bicolano. Okay, those are examples of ethnicity. What are the material culture again? Very good. How about non-material culture? Very good. For the next activity, we have the independent assessment 2. You have to describe your thoughts and feelings towards a specific nationality. Okay? Describe your thoughts and your feelings towards a specific nationality. State your reasons for such and compare their culture with the Philippine culture. Again, you have to compare their culture with the Philippine culture. Write your answers in your notebook. We are almost there, so let's move on to another activity. Okay, so did you learn something in this video lesson? Again, did you learn something in this video lesson? Great job! So using a selfie or a groupie, you have to show what you have learned about culture and society. Explain your picture, okay? You have to put it in your notebook. So, as a student, do you think you can do something about our culture? Yes, you can do something. What is it that you can do about our culture? What is it that you can do about our culture? Can you repeat it? Very good. So that's something that you can do about our culture. How can you protect and promote it? How can this be protected and promoted? You have to draw a poster answering that question. Okay? You have to draw a poster answering that question. Use bond paper for the poster and upload it in your Google folder. If you cannot upload it in your Google folder, you can send it to me via Messenger. Okay? So you also have to enumerate ways on how you can preserve your ethnicity's culture. Enumerate ways on how you can preserve your ethnicity's culture. Okay, so you are doing great in this lesson. For your assessment, you have to choose the correct letter of your answer from the given choices. This refers to the recognized and intended consequences of any social pattern. This refers to the recognized and intended consequences of any social pattern. A. Manifest. B. Latent. C. Social dysfunction. D. None of the above. Number 2. The study of human institutions and their relationship. The study of human institutions and their relationship. A. Anthropology. B. Culture. C. Society. Or D. Sociology. Number 3. The idea that one's own culture is above or superior to all other cultures. The idea that one's own culture is above or superior to all other cultures. A. Cultural relativism. B. Ethnocentrism. C. Relativism. D. Cultural variation. Number 4. It refers to the perception of accepted reality. It refers to the perception of accepted reality. A. Belief. B. Knowledge. C. Reality. D. Social norm. Number 5. Edward Taylor defined blank as that complex whole which includes knowledge, art, belief, law, morals, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as member of blank. A. Culture, group. B. Culture, nation. C. Culture, society. D. Society, culture. Next, a culture is a way of life of a group of individuals. Its subject includes symbols, language, values, and norms. What perspective this statement falls? What perspective this statement falls? A. Anthropology. B. Social science. C. Sociology. Or D. All of the above. Next number. These are established expectations of society as to how a person is supposed to act depending on the requirements of the time, place, or situation. These are established expectations of society. Okay? Letter A, belief. B, knowledge. C, reality. D, social norms. For number 8, this is the set of ethical standards and moral obligations as dictates of reason that distinguishes human acts as right or wrong or good from bad. A. Folkways. B. Mores. C. Technology. Or D. Values. Number 9 refers to practical application of knowledge, converting raw materials to finished products. A. Folkways. B. Mores. C. Technology. Or D. Values. Number 10. This approach finds to relate structures, social functions, or the consequences of any social pattern for the mobility of society as a whole. A. Cultural variation. C. Structural functional. B. Social conflict. D. Symbolic interaction. For number 11, it is the study of people throughout the world, their evolutionary history, how they behave, adapt to different environments, communicate and socialize with one another. A. Anthropology, B. Culture, C. Society, or D. Sociology. Number 12. It refers to any social pattern that may disrupt the operations of society. A. Manifest, B. Latent, C. Social dysfunction, D. None of the above. 13. Society is a community or group of individuals joined together because of sustained bond and interaction. This statement falls under what perspective? A. Anthropology, B. Sociology, C. Both A and B, D. None of the above. Number 14 refers to the differences in social behaviors that different cultures exhibit around the world. A. Cultural relativism, B. Ethnocentrism, C. Relativism, D. Cultural variation. For the last number, number 15, refers to the patterns of repetitive behavior that are habitual and conventional part of living. Refers to the patterns of repetitive behavior that are a habitual and conventional part of living. A. Folkways, B. Mores, C. Technology, D. Values. Well done! Very good! You are now ready for the next lesson. See you again, guys! Bye!